From the International House of Music. Let's roll that video.
Hi, I'm Armento with International House of Music in Los Angeles, California. What's the best way to market to new customers and get new customers? How about social media?
Well, listen, we all need new customers, right? It's one of the lifebloods of our business. But for a lot of us out there, social media, John, is just darn confusing. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to start. A lot of us want to say, hey, let me just give it over to some teenager to do for us. Where should we start with social media?
Well, I think it's very fair to say that if you're new to it, it is very confusing. You look at Facebook and you look at their promotional things that you can do and you go, oh man. And then we're just talking Facebook, let alone Twitter and all the other stuff that you can get into. What we did, which worked for us, is we hired a social media consultant. Someone that set us up, showed us what to do, held our hands through the beginning of it, and then turned it over to us. And if you get a little training, if you're willing to spend a few bucks for that, then you can carry the ball from that point. And you want to do, with Facebook at least, you want to do some of the promotionals to get your likes up. And what's going to happen, your reach is going to increase. You know, when you do any type of blogging, you're going to be reaching more people because they're all going to see it. And I would just recommend that you get some training and then try to take it from there, because you don't want to have somebody on the payroll for that alone forever. But I think we all need help because it is a confusing new world. But I will say this, the lady's question, you know, how to get new customers. This is the way it's done in 2014. If you don't get on the Facebook bandwagon and start doing your social media, you're going to slide.
So John, what kinds of things can we do? Because I know a lot of people don't realize that social media is called social media. It's called social for a reason. They get on there and go, oh, we got a special on this, we got a special on that. And they don't take time to form relationships or give value to the people looking. What kinds of folks do you do with your store?
Well, this is really a good point. The thing that I see that's missing in most social media promotions is you talk the talk, you talk about all this stuff, but you don't do advertising 101. You don't put a call to action in your Facebook posts. We have to go back to Business 101 that I talked about earlier. Look at your annual calendar. What's coming up? I mean, do we have graduation? Do we have a football game? Do we have a recital? This is the time where the Facebook goes to work for you. And you have to market to this upcoming business. You have to put a reason why they want to come and see you, whether it's a special, whether you're doing workshops, anything. But you've got to have the call to action, because otherwise it's just noise. And people pay attention. If you give them a reason, they will come and look for it.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent point. Now, I know that, Ted, we were talking before, social media is, you have really a personal pet peeve about that, right? So tell us about
I think you have to, you just nailed it earlier when you said social media is first and all social. And you have to think in terms of conversation. And if this is all new to you, I mean, that's the frame of reference you need to take when you're tackling Facebook, e-blasts, constant contact, and even the new texting thing that's going on that seems to be the hip next trend. It's all about conversation and rules you would have, the unwritten rules in just day-to-day conversation and communicating with people apply to social media too. You wouldn't go to church and sit there through the pews passing out your business card. It's not appropriate in that thing. We were talking since we had a group teleconference around Christmas time, and I was scratching my head over all the emails I was getting. And some of my favorite vendors, Eddie Bauer, Bed Bath & Beyond, Kohl's, I mean, it would just seem like I was getting email after email after email. And you know, they don't realize that you multiply them by the number of emails, and I'm starting to unsubscribe. And that's death when your customer unsubscribes you because you've been socially inappropriate. You really have to watch that too. And so think of it in terms of a conversation.
So the key here, Ted, is really to focus, pick one of the major tools, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, listen to conversations that are going on and then participate with them, but really try to focus. I guess, Ted and John, how much time should we expect to spend on social media, either putting out posts out there or connecting with others? What kind of commitment is it?
Well, I think it depends on the resources that you have, but I can tell you that we post every day. We blog, maybe not every day, but almost every day. And it's not hard once you kind of get in the habit. And we probably spend half an hour a day for us, but we're a very small store. If you got a bigger store with more resources, you could do more. But I think the key thing, every day.
You know, one of the things that you could do here at this conference is you could use Twitter, use hashtag Namm or hashtag Namm Show, and you can really connect with other people that are here when you follow them or they follow you, and it really helps with connections. Ted,
we're using that. I mean, I've already got 25 pictures first day of Namm, and the nice thing is we have it in Facebook. You can make your Facebook link into your website or your Twitter or whatever. Right. And so if you go to our website, you're going to see those 25 pictures, and they're going to go, oh, those guys, they're getting stuff for us. You know, they're out there, they're in the Fender Custom Shop selecting guitars. I can't wait to see what those are like when they get in my store. Regularity, I can't stress that enough. You know, it's you don't have to go, you don't have to blog extensively. I mean, it could be just a paragraph thing. As a matter of fact, you have to kind of avoid being overzealous in trying to sell something, because that's socially inappropriate.
It could be people really do want to be educated these days, right? They don't want to be sold.
Exactly, and it's as simple as there's a cool picture out there. One of my favorite comics, Bizarro. I'm constantly putting, that's my post of the day. You know, he'll have a musician.
Any Bizarro fans out there? All right, I guess you're not the only one.
And maybe it's just my twisted sense of humor, but I mean, that's that's something. I find these things, or an article on music education. I'll tell you, every time we post those teachers are right there, like, and that builds that social.
I think it's funny how, you know, you see something that you like and you post it, and then you see what kind of response you get from it. And we've almost, you know, made a daily event of looking at what grabs people's attention. It's never what we think it is.
Facebook will tell you.
Yeah. and pictures, you got to use pictures in industries because they really get people to notice, or some kind of videos. In a lot of mobile apps right now for Facebook, the video will actually start playing as you're scrolling through it.
Right.
So in our industry, those two things can really work out well. Yeah. So let's go to our last question. Comes from